It's the college football world's favorite big cousin. And if you're going to Krispy Kreme, please get your boy a dozen. Tater too what? Too real. And today, guys, I want to break down a week 1 top 10 matchup between the LSU Tigers, who are number 9, and the Clemson Tigers, who are sitting at number 4, which will be the Battle of Death Valley. Stay tuned. Before I start this video, I would like to take a quick moment of silence for the fact that college football season is finally here, and that means no more baseball parlays, no more WNBA parlays. We finally get to watch some real life college football. So let's take a quick moment of silence. All right, now back to the video. First, guys, let's start off with the Clemson Tigers. The Clemson Tigers are sitting at number 4 in the country, coming off a season into where they just won the ACC championship for the first time in 3 years, and they made the college football playoffs. When you're looking at teams this season in college football who you can kind of predict who may win a national championship, Clemson is definitely one of them. I mean, they're well balanced on both sides of the football. Not tated too real, what do you mean by that? Headline is quarterback Cade Klubnik, who is a first-round NFL draftee prospect, coming off a season into where he had 43 total touchdowns, 36 passing, and 7 rushing. Also, this Clemson Tiger football team is going to have a wealth of experience at a position that is a premium. Now, that is the offensive line. They will be returning 4 starters. Also, this Clemson Tiger football team is going to have one of the best receiving corps in all of college football. Yeah, I know Ohio State is probably going to be number 1, and LSU is not too shabby as well. But this Clemson Tiger receiving corps is absolutely explosive. Headlined by Brian Wesco Jr., Antonio Williams, and also TJ Moore. Now, the only position on offense, in my opinion, that you can kind of consider a weakness is running back. They're going to be breaking in a true freshman. Also, they're going to be probably leaning on Adam Randall, who is a converted receiver, 6'2", 225 pounds. He's a bruiser, right? He's not finna be out there trying to shake you, trying to juke you, trying to break your ankles. He's going north and south. He's running behind those big shoulder pads, and he's going north and south. So that's probably the only weakness on offense. But this Clemson defense is going to be one of the best in college football, regardless of conference. I know a lot of people are going to say, what about the SEC? Guys, this Clemson defense is absolutely stacked. Headlined by this magnificent defensive line unit. TJ Parker, Peter Wood, Sammy Brown at linebacker. They went in the transfer portal and got Jeremiah Alexander from the University of Alabama. At defensive back, they got Avion Terrell. Now, the only knock on this defense is the depth at cornerback and safety. But Clemson does recruit well, so I'm sure they're going to have a 4-star that can replace some guys and play if needed. But this defense is going to be absolutely dominant, in my honest opinion. I don't think they're going to shut out LSU, but this is going to be a damn good defense, and that is why I'm slightly leaning towards Clemson to win this football game. According to 247sports.com, the Clemson Tigers finished the 25 recruiting class at number 28. And one thing I want to point out about Dabo Swinney, he is not a guy who is going to abuse the transfer portal. He is not going to build his roster through the transfer portal. He's going to supplement his roster through the transfer portal by adding a few guys at positions of need. He only brought in 4 guys from the transfer portal in the 25 class. Jeremiah Alexander from the University of Alabama at linebacker, Will Helt from the University of Purdue at defensive line, Tristan Smith, who's a receiver transfer, and the offensive lineman. So he is not going to go crazy in the transfer portal, and I'm not trying to throw shade like Coach Prime Deion Sanders, and Deion Sanders had to do that at Colorado. He took over a program to where they were 1-11 before he got there. So he had to make a complete overhaul of the roster. So I see why Deion Sanders did that. Dabo Swinney is not going to do that. So this roster is going to be players that he recruited and developed. And this Clemson Tiger football team is going to be special, man, I'm telling you. Now, let's talk about the LSU Tigers. Coming in at number 9 is no other than the LSU Tigers. The LSU Tigers is star-studded and headlined by the number 1 transfer portal class in all of college football. This LSU football team went out there and they did everything in their resources and their power to build a national championship football team. And this team is headlined by quarterback Garrett Nussmeier, who is the clear-cut Heisman front-runner to start the season, coming off a season to where he passed for 4,052 yards and 28 touchdowns. Also, the biggest hit to this LSU football team was the offensive line. Losing tackles Emory Jones Jr. and Will Campbell, but they're going to be replaced by Braylon Moore from the University of Virginia Tech, DJ Chester, and Tyree Adams. So the offensive line is definitely going to be talented. They're definitely going to have guys who had experience and played a lot of football. So I don't think they're going to take a step back. Now, those players aren't Emory Jones and Will Campbell, but they're still going to be very, very good. Headline at running back is going to be Harlem Berry, who was the #1 running back in all of high school football last season. Also, Caden Durham is going to get a lot of carries at running back. This receiving core is going to be very, very talented. I know I just said Clemson is going to have one of the best receiving cores in all of college football, but you can put this LSU group up there too. Headlined by receiver Aaron Anderson, who had over 800 yards receiving last year. Also, they brought in Nick Anderson from the University of Oklahoma. Also, they brought in Braylon Brown from the University of Kentucky. All these guys are twitchy, electric, shifty type of receivers. So guys, they're going to be very, very talented. Garrett Nussmeier is going to have no shortage of pass catchers to pass the ball to. Also, they have a rising star at tight end in Trudez Green. Also, they got Bear Sharp, who is going to be at tight end as well when they want to go 2 tight end packages and run the football. So this offense is definitely going to be loaded. This offense is definitely going to be more than capable of hanging points on Clemson. But let's talk about this LSU defense. Man, this LSU defense is as star-studded of a group there is in college football. That does not mean they're going to play exceptionally well because, again, a lot of these players came in through the transfer portal. There has to be some chemistry and things just have to click. But headlined by returning linebacker Harold Perkins Jr. Before Harold Perkins got injured, many people was talking about him being a first-round draft pick. So with a successful season this year, Harold Perkins will definitely put his name back in that mix. He's kind of a safety linebacker hybrid. Also, they got Whit Weeks, who was a star-studded linebacker in his own right. Jacoby Gilroy on the defensive line. They got Jack Pyram, transfer defensive end from the University of Florida. Patrick Pagan, transfer defensive end from Florida State. They got 5-star freshman cornerback DJ Pickett. They have Mansour Delane, transfer cornerback from Virginia Tech. So forth and so on. This is going to be, like I just mentioned again, a star-studded defensive unit. But will they play together? Is there going to be chemistry? Is Harold Perkins going to be 100% healthy? Is he going to be as good or better than he was before? Those are some of the questions I have about this defense. On paper, it's probably one of the best groups in all of college football, but they haven't played together. They haven't played for defensive coordinator Blake Baker, so I do think this LSU defense is going to be good. The difference is Clemson's defense has played together. They have that chemistry, so that's why I'm slightly, and I mean very, very slightly leaning towards Clemson. If you guys want my final official prediction, I'm going to say Clemson is going to win this game 27-24. And the reason why is because I feel like Clemson's defense is going to be able to get that 1 or 2 stops needed to kick that field goal or get that extra touchdown late into the ball game. So I do believe LSU is more than capable of winning this game, obviously, but I just feel like Clemson's defense is a little more experienced and a little more trustworthy. So that's why I feel like Clemson will win this game very, very narrowly, but I will not be shocked if LSU wins. You guys let me know what you think. That is Clemson versus LSU breakdown, the battle of the real Death Valley. This is your boy Tater 2 Real, where we always keep it too real. Holla.